What's up guys, my name's Lexus Amour David. As you can see from the title, there was a fire at my job. I have to leave my house and I have to go to work, so I only have 20 minutes, but this story is just too crazy for me to keep it to myself. So I'm helping this family and all of a sudden this little boy points behind me and he's like, "Excuse me, there's a fire." I turned around without even fully hearing him, like it didn't register what he said, but I'm looking at where he's pointing and the popcorn machine was ablaze. Ablaze, bitch, ablaze. So I'm in awe and I see my supervisor grabbing the fire extinguisher and I'm like, okay, lit. She knows where the fire extinguishers are. She knows how to use them. Awesome, because your girl don't. I've never used one and I guess it wouldn't have been a bad time to learn. But also I see customers starting to pull out their phones and start to record. And so I grab my phone and start to record because I'm like, I want video evidence of any events that are gonna happen at this job that have to do with like danger. So I'm recording and I have like my supervisor hopping over the counter with the fire extinguisher trying to like put it out, and she's like, you know, trying to figure out how to, I think you pull a pin or something. She's trying to figure that out. But also, like, I had no idea at the time. My supervisor was kind of going a little slow, and she told me after, bro, the heat from the fire started melting her contact lenses. What? She told me that she kept blinking and she couldn't really see, and like she didn't know that that was possible, and she really didn't know what was wrong, and she's trying to like figure it out. I didn't know that till later. So I have a video of her and one of my coworkers both extinguishing the fire.
Turn around.
Yo. The fire got small, then the machine started spurting and spatting and popping, and then it like reignited. So luckily, one of my coworkers who wasn't even by the snacks with us, I believe he was on his break. He comes from like a family firefighters and he's like, yo, you guys need to turn off that machine. So he went and he like risked singeing his fingers to turn off all the switches on the face of the popcorn machine. The whole place starts filling with smoke and the whatever shoots out of the fire extinguishers. The air is now like unbreathable. Me and some of my coworkers start running in and out of the auditoriums, calling for any customers that are in the theaters, trying to make sure that they come out. One of my coworkers did pull the fire alarm, but there was no real alarm. Like there was lights that started flashing and a monotone voice saying, "There's a fire in the building. The firefighters have already been contacted. Please exit the building." Like, I don't know if it was super like passive to make people not panic. I don't know if that was part of it, but people were so unpanicked that they were ignoring the hell out of this alarm. Their movies kept going. I think I heard that some of the auditoriums, the movies stopped, which is what they were supposed to do. But in the ones that I went into, the movies were still playing. Like people were like, am I getting refunded for this movie? Why do I have to leave the theater? And I'm like ushering them out. I did have one family ask me, they were like, you know, can you tell us why we're leaving? Are we allowed to go through the emergency exit doors? And, you know, I'm in California. I already knew by the look on their face, they weren't sure if somebody was like pew-pewing the theater. Child, if somebody was pew-pewing the theater, there's only so much of a hero you can play. I would not be there. But no, I was like, no, there's a fire, please exit the building and stuff. And at this point, I'm like coughing. Like my throat is on fire, and it's difficult because this was like 4 days ago, something like that. Today's the 4th day. Yeah, and even when I get too excited, like right now, like my voice still feels scratchy in the back, like my voice still hurts. Okay, wait, hold up, I forgot I'm supposed to be getting ready. But anyway, so all of us exit the building and the firefighters have arrived and the cops are there and they're, you know, going in the building and checking all those things, and me and my coworkers are walking across the way to our like safety point where we're all supposed to meet in the event of an emergency, and we're making sure that everybody's okay. It wasn't until this point that I found out that my supervisor was having problems with her contact lenses. So she like gets them out and she's like blinking and her eyes are bloodshot. So I offer her my water bottle and I'm like, yo, like you need to flush your eyes out. And she's like, yeah, like my contacts, instead of being like a cup or something, they started to like curve over, and she felt that and got scared, and you know, she didn't know that the heat could mess with it like that. So like I'm glad that she was able to get them out in time, and I really hope that there's no permanent damage to her vision. But she also had like the eyelash extensions on and stuff, and so she's just like, her eyes are super irritated, and she keeps like putting my water in her hands and like trying to flush them out. I felt so bad. After a while, my managers came and met up with us. I think the firefighters were having them like mop. Ooh, that's my alarm. The firefighters were having them like mop inside and stuff and like try to get some of the ash up so it doesn't just circulate the air, something like that. And we all just kind of processed what had happened. And yo, like some people were like chilling, like, yo, that was a rush, and kind of on the exciting factor of it. Some people were taking it really hard, and like there's people crying, and you know, it was a thing. I was kind of numb. It didn't really set into me that it was a big thing until one of my coworkers started having a panic attack, and I was like, yo, like I felt so bad. My general manager showed up, and he had just arrived on the scene. I think it was his day off. He's trying to figure out what happened and talk to like the people above him, like, what do you want me to do, and kind of like all that kind of stuff. So he has a lot on his plate. And I walk up to him and I like show him the video of what I got, and you know, tell him like, if you need this video, I can email it to you, all that kind of stuff. But I also tell him, like, respectfully, I'm gonna have my phone on me. By the way, we're not supposed to have our phones on us. Like, we had just had a meeting at work 2 days before this fire, where he reminded us that we're supposed to keep our phones in the lockers while we work, and that if he sees our phones even in our pockets, like if we're not on it, we're gonna get written up for it. And I kind of don't like that. I don't like being treated like a child. Like, I cannot be on my phone, but I work at a theater in America. I would like my phone on me. But yeah, no, so he has made it very, very clear, you can't have it on you. You can have a watch on you, that's it. If there's an emergency happening at home or something, have people call the office and the office will relay the message to you. Something along those lines. So I had told him after this fire, showing him the video that I took, and I was like, you know, respectfully, I'm gonna have my phone on me because I feel unsafe with it not. Like what? Like, us calling the cops, the fire alarm didn't even have an alarm element to it. Like, we all just had to play hero. And then his response to me was just, you can't have your phone on me. Can you email me that video? What? Actually, what? Like, I don't know. That didn't sit well with me. It made me feel like my concerns were completely disregarded. We weren't even asked if we were okay. Like, it was not, no acknowledgement of like, yo, y'all just helped put out a fire. Y'all just helped get all of these civilians out of the auditoriums. Like, y'all just did an amazing job. It was just kind of like, you know, whatever. And then he was saying to not tell people to not come to their shifts. Like, don't reach out to people and say, hey, there was a fire, we're closed for the rest of the day. He told them to not tell them that, so that when they show up, they can help clean. After about 10 minutes, he said that they would have the option on whether or not they wanted to stay and clean, but, you know, to still not communicate that until they just show up. Okay, so there was a ton of people in the regular generic like throwaway masks trying to help clean up the ashes, clean up the stuff from the fire extinguishers. Like, it honestly, it was a trip. And then you have customers, you know, showing up and you know, going on and on about their refund and how are they going to do it and all this kind of stuff. I have to leave my house. It was just a straight mess. And, you know, there's not a ton that you can do in that situation, but there's a ton that you can do to like make sure the employees know that they're cared for and that, you know, you really are sorry that this happened, and to assure us that this will never happen again. It just seemed very unprofessional, and it was giving cheap. It was giving, you can't afford professional cleaners, you know, whatever. The popcorn machine, the popcorn machine, you saw my video about me getting burned trying to clean this popcorn machine because there's no safety guidelines, no indicator light on whether or not it's cooled down enough to clean. I didn't even tell you guys that this popcorn machine, one, the lid doesn't close all the way, so while it's popping popcorn, hot oil like shoots out from under the lid and splatters on you. I don't know if you can tell, but my eye is slightly like discolored because it hit me in the eye. Like, this machine is so past gone. And then my manager told me that this machine has caught on fire before. Not to the degree of what happened a few days ago, but like, you know, the idea that this has happened and they basically just gave it the landlord special and then we're still using it. Like, I honestly feel like our safety is just kind of disregarded, and it's kind of one of those environments that's like, oh, you know, we go through the trenches together and that just makes us, you know, stronger as a family. And no, why are there trenches at an entry-level job? Why is there so much that we have to put up with? Like, for most of my coworkers, most of them, this is their first job. This is a privately owned theater. It's not like a chain. And so I don't know if it's just like a lack of money or a lack of like people not having any type of business etiquette, trying to run a business, or I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm getting to the point where I'm honestly like, I feel like I've learned what there is to learn and grow however much I can grow at this job, and now I feel like I'm about to be done. Like, I'm probably gonna start looking for another job. I'm only a seasonal worker. I've only been there for 3 months. Like, my season is supposed to end in like August. So I don't know. We're gonna see what our next step is. Also, I did braid my hair. I probably should have put way more gray in it, because look, when I part my hair down the middle, what is this? It looks so bad to go from how light it is to just dark. This is my first time using salt and pepper hair. This is my first time buying white hair to even blend into the salt and pepper hair, and it's just way too light right here. So it looks a lot better when I part it on the side, but yeah, still a mess. Okay, I have to be at work in 8 minutes, and it's gonna take me that long to drive there, and I still have to change. All right, so thank you for watching. Okay, love you, bye.